Over the course of the passage, Sandeep comes to view the adults as blank. I've covered up the choices because I want us to rip-rap, I want us to rephrase this question, and then predict what the answer will be based on our dive into the text. So rephrase if possible, and then read around and predict. So let's rephrase. During the survey step, I flagged this question as a POV, a point of view question, because this question is about analyzing a character's point of view. We need to see how the character Sandeep comes to view the adults over the course of the story. And so really, I'm just looking for Sandeep's opinion on the adults, right? And then the next question is, who's Sandeep? If we don't remember who Sandeep is, then this question doesn't function. And I remember that Sandeep is mentioned in the blurb. Don't forget to check the blurb. The blurb is your friend. It's very useful. It's very important. This passage is adapted from A Strange and Sublime Address, in which a 10-year-old boy named Sandeep travels with his mother, his aunt, and his uncle to visit family in Calcutta. All right, so let's just do a keyword search and look for the first instance of the name Sandeep in the passage. I don't see it, I don't see it, I don't see it. There we go, there's the first mention of Sandeep, line 43. Sandeep's aunt's and mother's feet, but not really about Sandeep himself. Keep going. Here we are, line 55. Sandeep, meanwhile, had come to the conclusion that the grown-ups were mad, each after his or her own fashion. That seems like a definite expression of Sandeep's opinion about the adults. Let's keep reading and see if there's more. Simple situations were turned into complex, dramatic ones. Not until then did everyone feel important and happy. Will they never grow up, thought Sandeep irately. So he's irritated and he thinks they're childish. Okay, so we've got an opinion that Sandeep thinks that the grown-ups were mad, that is to say, unhinged, right? Or that they're immature. So I'm going to go back to the question, and I'm going to write in childish here. And if childish doesn't work, then we can sub in crazy, because I think that's what Sandeep means by mad. Let's expose the choices. So which one of these choices best matches my prediction of childish? It's not strict. Strict and childish don't mean the same thing. Reserved and childish do not mean the same thing. Sophisticated, well, that means fancy, but let's pretend that I don't know what sophisticated means, so I'm going to leave it for now. And D, immature. Well, immature and childish could be synonyms. They can mean the same thing. I'm going to circle D. And I'm going to cross off C. If you don't know a word like sophisticated, try to resist the urge to go for the longest, most complicated, most fancy looking word just because it's the longest and most complicated and fancy. Trust your gut. If the choices you are left with are either a complicated word that you don't know and a word that you do know that you feel confident about, choose the word that you know that you feel confident about. The SAT is not trying to test your knowledge of $10 vocabulary words, especially on a question like this that isn't even about vocabulary and context. So that's how I got to choice D as an answer. Now, I think that a question like this can look intimidating because it says over the course of the passage, and that might make you think, oh no, I need to reread the entire passage. But we have this gift in the form of the specific citation of the name Sandeep. So all we need to do is search for that character's name and look for moments when that character's opinion comes to the fore of the narration. And doing that enabled me to find the relevant paragraph and focus in on that and use just that paragraph as a source instead of burning valuable minutes rereading the entire passage.